Alright guys, so now we're going to go ahead and talk about how to find the volume of a sphere. And very similar to the surface area, it's very easy guys. There's only one variable and that variable is r. So once you know r, everything is just substitution and that's it. So let's go ahead and look at this problem here. So looking at this problem, we have this 4 over 3 pi r cubed. Okay, so let's say here we have our radius. Okay, so the radius they gave it to us, so we have here volume is equal to 4 over 3 times pi r cubed, and my radius is 4, so I just plug it in. So it's going to be 4 over 3 times pi times my radius, which is 4 to the third power. All I have to do is I just have to come here to my calculator. Oops, sorry. And I just type that out. So 4 over 3 times pi times 4 raised to the third power. So my volume is simply 268.083, and again units cubed. It's that easy guys, it's that easy. Okay. Onto this next one right here, guys. Now this one again is very rare. You're gonna have to do this. So in this example here, I am giving you guys the volume already. And just keep in mind that volume, we already said, for a sphere is 4 over 3 times pi r cubed. So in this example, they already told us that the volume was 1500. But you need to solve for r. There's several ways to go about it. Obviously, you could substitute in for r until you get the answer. So like if it's multiple choice, you can plug in the numbers for r until you end up getting 1500 or something really close to 1500. But if you want to solve for r, just like there's a square root when you're going to square it, there's something called the cube root. So that's basically what we're going to do. So we're going to, again, I'm going to go ahead and make this into a regular number. For those of you guys that, don't want to mess with the algebra. The algebra would tell us just to multiply both sides by 3 and divide by 4 pi. But if I just do 4 over 3 times pi, just to see what that would be, I get this 4.188. So I find out that 1500 is roughly about 4.19 r cubed. So I have to divide 1500 by 4.19. So I end up with 357.995. So I'm going to say it's just 358 is equal to r cubed. And again, just like there's a square root, there's something called a cube root. So the inverse of cubing is a cube root, and it's going to have a little 3 on it. And all I have to do is just put a 358, and that's it. So the cube root, guys, at least in my calculator, it's going to be right next to it. And then it's going to allow me to put in a number here. On your calculator, you might see an x and then a y inside, or a y over here and an x in here, telling you which one is your radicand. So since it's a cube root, I'm going to put the 3 outside, right? And this 358 inside. And so this tells me that my radius is roughly about 7.1. And again, if you want to check your work, you could by just plugging in the numbers. So let's try this out. So if I had this 4 over 3 times pi times 7.1 raised to the third power, and look at that. My answer is very, very close to this 1500. Okay? Now, just like there was area of a sector, okay? There are times where they're going to ask you to find the area of a wedge. Now, at least in our class is just more of a foundational skill, so you probably won't see this, but I just want to take this opportunity to show you. Normally, the formula is 4 over 3 pi r to the third power. But if you only care about a piece, you only care about a fraction, we create a fraction. And that fraction is basically theta over the number of degrees in a circle, which is 360. That is all we need to introduce to our problem here. And it doesn't matter where you put theta, whether you put it behind it, in the middle, or in the front. Okay, so I'm going to put a W for volume of wedge. And I'm just going to go ahead and put the theta in the front. And that's it. So like in this specific problem, they want us to find the area of this wedge if the angle is 30 and the radius is 3. So all I have to do is I just have to substitute. So this would just be 30 times 4 over 3 times pi times my radius, which they told me was 3, cubed over 360. Obviously, this is going to be less than the total volume, okay? The total volume of this specific sphere happens to be 4 over 3 times pi times 3 to the third power. This is the total volume. Again, there's many ways to think about it. 30, right? 30 over 360 is 1/12 of it. So I could actually get this 113 and divide it by 12 and get something really close to what the answer will be. Right? Or if I just use the formula, 30 times 4 over 3 times pi times 3 to the third power divided by 360. And we pretty much get the same thing. Okay? So the volume of this wedge is 9.4. That's it, guys. That's how you find volume of a sphere or part of a sphere.